What's good, boys? Excuse the hair, I just got out of the shower, but pretty much this lesson's just gonna be on how to use Stripe. I wasn't planning on making one of these, but I was literally having some trouble with Stripe today, and so I just thought when the time comes when you guys are actually getting paid, this video will be very beneficial of just for doing like subscription, sending invoices. This is gonna be the full Stripe guide. It's not gonna be that crazy, but let me just get into it really quick. So let's go here. So this is Stripe. This is the home. This is what it's gonna look like. I'm not gonna really scroll around too much on here just because I don't want to show anyone's like information, but pretty much you have this home page. So the first thing you want to do if you want to just like, let's say we have someone on the phone right now. They just agreed to pay the 1,800 or 1,600, 1,000 or whatever you're gonna have them pay for the retainer. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna go to here, invoice. My bad. So here we have people, right, in the customer section. You can always add a new customer up here, and then it's going to take you to this, and you basically let's add a new customer right now. So we'll go, you put their full name in, so we'll do Randy Leahy, and then you put his email, right? Save. Okay. Currency. Um, you put their currency, since you're doing stuff on the internet, there might be people in different currencies. So we have all these items. So this is where you want to create an item. So for the most part, the item is just going to be whatever. I would just make a new item every time unless you actually have an item that honestly recurs every time, like a mentorship. But even sometimes the mentorship changes prices. Sometimes like people have to do the payment plan or they need this or that. So what you can do for your client, obviously not for the mentorship, but for the client, you can go add new item, put the name down. Let's do first payment. Bang. And this is going to show up on here, so make sure like you capitalize it and shit. First payment, put the price. Let's say you got them on like a $1,500 retainer. Okay, save. So there we go. And then doing 30 days, I would literally do today. I mean, if they're gonna pay it right now, do today or do tomorrow. I'd always do one day out just in case they can't pay it, but just try to the key to sales is just getting them to pay as soon as they want to, as soon as their brain is in that like area to where they're like, okay, this makes sense. Don't make them wait a day. You will literally lose them in an hour, let alone 2 days, one day. So as soon as they're ready to pay, as soon as you're ready to go, be like, okay, I'm sending this over now. Let's obviously be a little bit more respectful about it, but just be on top of that shit. Um, Send it due today. And then sometimes you can have their payment method on file, which is I'll show you how to do that in a second. That can be very beneficial. And it's email invoice, right? So it'll send them this, and then there'll be a payment link within that. So I am my own customer right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure everything looks good. Send invoice. This is what it's gonna look like. Payment page. And this also works on the phone too. So anyone who's gonna pay on their phone. And so see when I put due today, put due today in red right here. So I can go send invoice, and they have all these ways to pay, right? And then let's go see what it looks like. So then your client's going to get an email that looks something like this. We'll go here, and it'll be your company name. Bang. Here it is. Looks very professional, right? It's worth the little bit they take off. It honestly is because you have this perfectly like professional looking invoice. Pay this invoice. Imagine if I like accidentally paid this right now. Bang. And then choose how you like to pay, card. And on the phone, they accept Apple Pay, which is like one of the easiest ways to pay. You literally double clip it and it scans their face and then bang, like they pay it. So I mean that's a really easy way too. That's one things I really like about Stripe. But yeah, so then you can put in card and they can pay, and then it'll hit your account and it'll show up in here. And then you can set your payouts to daily. You can go to manage payouts, and so you go to balances, go to manage payouts, and then payout schedule, and then automatic payouts changes to daily. This way you're gonna get them as soon as it hits, it's gonna go to your bank right away. And that's what you're gonna want to do. Now um for subscriptions, which is the subscription is pretty much what I'm gonna do every time. Unless it's seriously just a one-time payment, then obviously don't have them do a subscription. But let's say, for example, this is an example that's going to come up a lot. Let's say they want to pay it, they have the money, but for some reason, like their bank isn't working, or for some reason, they have to wait till tomorrow to pay it, right? Or the next day. And you're like, you don't want to get off the call with them because then I don't know if they're going to actually pay it tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to pay it the next day. And it's like that point, you're flipping a coin. Like here you had them on the call ready to pay, and then all of a sudden they can't need to wait till tomorrow. That is like you're about to, it's a slippery slope. Like you're about to lose them. So this is what you do for that. So, and this has helped me a lot. What you're gonna do is you'll be like, okay, well, let me just add you as a customer on my Stripe, and then like when the time comes, we can do it. And they're on the call, they talk to you for 30 minutes. Of course they're gonna do that. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go right here, go to subscription, customer, add new customer. Here he is. Let's go. Jack, add the email. And then add customer. Now, once we have the customer, so let's put in the payment plan, right? So even if this is if they're only going to pay 600 and that's the flat rate, still just put it as this because you can just turn it off after. But um, we will go subscription and then down here, make sure it is on automatically charge payment method on file. Go create subscription. No payment attached. And then you create the date into the future, schedule subscription. We're going to go to our subscription, go to actions, and then share payment update link. So when we click on that, we send that email. And what this is going to do is basically what it's going to do is you send them the email, and the email is going to have something that says, okay, update your payment information for this. So when you tell them you're adding them as a customer, you're just adding their card on. You are adding them as a customer, but you're adding their name, their email, and their payment info. And so when they say they're going to pay tomorrow or the money will be in their account tomorrow, don't wait till tomorrow to ask them. Literally put their payment in, be like, okay, this should go through tomorrow whenever the money comes in. And they'll be like, okay, yeah. And then when tomorrow comes, it will bill them, right? They're a man of their word. They said they'd pay for it tomorrow. They said we tell them it's going to go through tomorrow. That's how it's going to work. And so then we don't have to chase them down on the phone to get the money from them. It's already on Stripe, right? And I don't think anyone else is really going to teach you this, but this is what you need to do. Make sure they have the money ready on a certain date, have them add their card, and then when the time comes, then it'll auto bill them and then the money goes in your Stripe. And that's what you agreed on. That is what you agreed on. And it's an easy way to do it. So I will show you in here what the payment update is going to look like. So it's going to pop up right here in their email, and it's going to say update your payment method, update your payment for your Elite Brand Scaling subscription. So that is what it's going to say. Update payment method. And obviously you're going to explain to them, yeah, this is just how we add people as customers. Upcoming invoice amount. So it'll say upcoming, right? So this is kind of important. So like, oh, upcoming. So like, I'm not, obviously it means they're going to pay it tomorrow or the day they said they were going to pay it, right? You obviously make that clear with them. And then they put their card in here, right? And they add it. And then from there, when the next day comes around, you don't have to call them and chase them down. It's already going to charge them. Like they say, oh, I get paid on Thursday. That's when I can pay for it. And you're like, okay, that's great. Let me add you as a customer. And then on Thursday, we'll have everything like kind of go through on your card. And that will be that. So let me just update. Let me add you as a customer. I'm just going to send you an email real quick. You'll send them this email. They'll put their card in and make sure they're putting the card in that the money's going to go to. And you can ask them questions like, how are you planning on paying, just with like your debit card or like credit card? Because some people get paid and it goes straight to their credit card. Some people it just goes to the debit. So like when they say, oh, I get paid through my debit or through my credit, you can be like, okay, well, go ahead, add your debit card. And then on Thursday when you get paid, it will go through. And we can kind of like go forward from there. And they'll be like, okay, because they're not paying for it right now. And they already had you on the phone for like 30, 45 minutes. So of course they're gonna like do this for you, right? I mean, what they're gonna sit there and be like, oh no, like they're not gonna say that. They're gonna put their stuff in. And on the day they said when it goes through, then that's the day it's gonna go through. It's just a good way of holding people to their word because lots of people like to flake, lots of people like to say stuff and don't do it. And if you put it in the contract, like, okay, now this is the retainer, it's a 4 month long contract, let's do like $500 a month, and they agreed on that, have them sign a contract, set this up to bill them every day for since the first day they paid it, a month later, a month later, a month later. That's $2,000. That's contract signed, going to get auto billed to you and go in your account, so you don't have to chase it down for the Zelle. That's the way. That's the way to maximize the amount of money you're making with this is with Stripe. But that's why Stripe is extremely useful. You have to utilize Stripe. Now, one thing I will say is when you first start using Stripe, the first payment you will get, they hold it for a week just to make sure like you're legit. And then after the week, they let it go and put it in your account. But then after that, if you have daily recurring payments on, it takes like 2 to 3 days to just hit your account instantly. It's coming straight through. It might like see from this 650, they took off $22, right? But that is extremely worth it to me because all the services that we get from this make it very, very easy to do what we need to do. I hope this was helpful and I'll see y'all in the next one.